Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie. Thank you so much for joining me for your February 2023 Tarotscope. Please keep in mind as we go through this reading that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading, so please only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. There will be all sorts of fun things for you to explore in the description box, including a timestamp if you would like to jump to the start of the reading. Let's jump in, Cancer, and see what this month has in store for you. But before we do that, I would like to say that I feel like for some of you, communication may be a little bit tricky this month. And the reason for that is I have started your reading a couple of times and like tripped over my words quite a few times. Okay. And it's not typical for me to experience that. So I just really feel like this month you may find yourself doing just that, trying to communicate something, and maybe it's coming out all backwards, or maybe you're really struggling to articulate what you are meaning to say, or maybe even perhaps you are literally tripping over your words like I was, getting all tongue tied. Okay, I don't know who that's for, but I had to share it because it did come through. So let's get into the cards for you, Cancer. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, tell us about Cancer's theme for February 2023, please. Tell us about Cancer's theme for February 2023. Holy crap. Okay, I feel like that one, but like all of these cards fell out. I don't know why, but for some reason, I kind of feel like maybe you're all over the place, and maybe that's why there's that struggle in communication, right? Because maybe you're trying to communicate, but your thoughts are like every which way, or your thoughts are moving so much faster than your mouth is able to keep up with, or something, right? It just really feels like it's kind of like an all over or very scattered type of energy. What can Cancer expect this month, or what is something that Cancer already knows for February 2023, please? Yeah, it's so the energy feels weird, Cancer. Thank you. What is something that Cancer may not expect about this month? What is something that Cancer may not expect about this month? Yeah, like if you guys look, the cards are, it's like I don't have this big of a struggle shuffling normally. So I just really feel like maybe there's just a lot going on for you, Cancer. I don't know what it is, but and maybe for some reason it feels like it's a lot internal. And I'm not saying that your external circumstances or experiences don't contribute to that, but I just feel like you may have a lot going on internally. Perhaps you are going through some form of transformation, some sort of awakening, perhaps, but it just feels like the energy is everywhere. What is something that stirs happiness within Cancer this month, please? What is something that stirs happiness within Cancer this month, please? Okay, thank you. It's so wild. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but like every time like the cards like hit together where it would be like just one that like doesn't want to go in for some reason. I'm sorry if that's loud, by the way. But it feels, for some reason I'm like getting this feeling that for some of you, and I don't feel like this is for everyone because it wasn't like it didn't happen so much to the point where I wasn't able to get cards out, but I feel like there could be some of you who feel like you're like hitting a wall. And I don't know if that's with yourself. I don't know if that is with what you're trying to do in your life. I'm not sure, but it just really feels like for some of you, there's this feeling of hitting a wall. Tell us more, please, about Cancer's theme for this month. Wow. Wow, those flew out like a freaking rocket. Holy crap. I'm really actually surprised it didn't knock my obsidian off the table. This guy here. Or not obsidian. Yeah, can't think of it right now. It's not obsidian. Total brain fart. Anyway, irrelevant. Tell us more, please, about what Cancer should expect or something that they already know for the month. So, I don't know why I'm getting this. I'm like getting all of these like intuitive messages coming in. For some of you, I don't know who this is for, but I'm getting this energy of somebody who may not be very open to bending how they do things. I think is the best way to put that. It's kind of like one of those people actually, and maybe you've said this, I don't know, whoever this is for, but there's like this is who I am, like type of thing. And it's this, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it kind of feels like this mentality of like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, in the sense that like for whoever this is about, there's somebody who is like stuck in their ways and isn't budging. And I feel like this is gonna create problems for you if it hasn't already. Okay, take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. But it just feels like for somebody there's like this unwillingness to budge or put effort into making change. And the way that I'm seeing that is very much like a tree and being flexible in the wind, because if not, it's going to snap in half. Now, I'm not saying you're going to snap in half, Cancer, obviously, if this applies to you, but I just really feel like if you're not willing to be flexible, if you're not willing to make changes in order to improve your life and the life of those around you, what are you doing? What's the point? Because here's the thing, right? If you are refusing to expand or grow, what do all living things do? They grow, they expand, right? So if you're not doing those things, then you're not truly living. Why? Why would you not want to truly be living? And if you consider for a moment, right, maybe you don't even buy into the whole God thing, which totally your choice, but and maybe you don't, but let's say for a moment that you do, hypothetically, if God, right, placed us on the planet to learn and have experiences through us, what makes you think that you cannot learn and grow? Just saying. I'm just saying. Okay? Again, take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't, but tell us more, please, about something that Cancer may not expect about this month. Yes, thank you. And tell us more, please, about what stirs happiness within Cancer this month. Okay, those there. Interesting. Okay, let's talk about your theme, Cancer, for this month. We have morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. So, here's the thing. I really feel like this is about perspective. I really do. And why? Well, first of all, there's clarity here. And there's a positive outlook. And the way I'm seeing it is like being perched high above something else and like seeing, how do I word this? Yeah. Okay. So, for example, if there are two people arguing, or maybe a small group of people arguing, or having some sort of confrontation, and you're like right in front of it, it's probably going to look like, oh, wow, this is really out of control. This town is kind of going to shit. Maybe it looks like that. But if you were to get to a much higher perspective, let's say on a mountaintop somewhere, you wouldn't see those people having this dispute. Instead, you would see this beautiful landscape and this endless or limitless possibility. So I feel like there's something here about that, in the sense of, I feel like it depends on how you look at things. And I feel like if you're willing to change your perspective, I feel like you could gain a lot of clarity in how do I word this? And maybe how do I word, like, yeah, it feels where it feels like you could gain a lot of clarity in where you've been limiting yourself. It's like there's something that I feel you need to change your perspective on. And you may even know this to some extent, but I feel like there could be something that you are holding on to or experiencing where you're like, this is how I feel about this, and I'm not budging. And whatever that thing is, I feel like you're being asked to budge. I'm just saying. And if not budge, at the very least, learn what the different perspectives hold. Because then you're making a very educated, if you will, a very knowledgeable, a very informed decision on where you stand on your beliefs, on whatever it is, right? It's really interesting. Let's look into the clarifiers. You have a few here. So the first one is, yeah, Orion activation, supernova recreation, renewal, rebirthed by light. So again, there's that energy of transformation, like I was picking up in the beginning. And I feel like this does have to do with allowing you to move into a new space. I feel like there's something here that you may be releasing, which is, could potentially provide you with this new outlook. Oftentimes when we are stuck in viewing things a certain way, there's something that we're attached to, and that is often connected or tethered to some form of programming, wounding, trauma, right? Some form of something that we have been unable to heal from or release. And so I feel like whatever this is for you, Cancer, I feel like there's something here. There's something here where I feel like you're being given the opportunity to see things differently. You have Hathor light codes, light immersion, full system upgrade, and power recall. So it's interesting to me because there's rebirthed by light and light immersion. So I definitely feel like there's a high potential that you will be going through an activation or an awakening experience this month. And I just want to lovingly say that it has been pretty, what is the word? Universal, if you, I guess, through the signs I've done so far, that energy coming through of essentially next level. We're going to next level. So I feel like whatever this thing is, gaining a new outlook, I feel like could help you as you move forward in this next portion of your soul's journey, your healing, right? And I feel like this power recall for you, I feel many of you, is about, again, getting this fresh start. I feel like whatever this thing is that you have refused to budge on, that it could be the thing that has been, again, limiting you or siphoning. Ooh, that's an interesting word. I don't know that I've actually ever used that word in a reading before. Siphoning, energy and emotions from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like whatever this is, like, this is something that you've thought about, you've maybe cried about or been angry about, right? Or something. Or it triggers you, right? So if people talk about it and all of a sudden you're like, find yourself tensing up or feeling really uncomfortable and maybe wanting to like leave the room, or you find yourself getting emotional, I just feel like there's, whatever this is, I feel like you're being given the opportunity this month to see things from a different perspective, and by which call your power back to you. You cannot make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. You can't. You have Akashic Records, clearing old stories, releasing past lives, and freedom. So like I said, there's something here that you're holding on to. And actually my stomach is growling, which is really interesting. But I feel like there's this, it's like empty yourself of it. Release it, whatever it is. And Cancer, You know what it is. I promise you, you know. Even if you don't think you know, you do. To some degree, you have a thread on this already. Because it is something that will trigger the ever living crap out of you instantly. Instantly. Right? As soon as somebody starts talking about it, or it's brought up, or it pops up in your memory or something, you instantly are triggered. Okay? Let's see what to expect or something you already know. So there's a few cards here. You have the rose thread, inner call, soul led, the mystic, living courageously. So I do feel like this, the reason that this, whatever this is, I feel like is coming up and is pulling on your attention, is because I do feel like, again, you're going to the next level. And I feel like it's like, before we fully step into this, we've got to be willing to release this stuff, to be courageous enough to do it. And here's the thing. I'm getting fear. So again, courageous. I'm like, all of a sudden, feel super warm, which any other time would remind me of like, heaven and love and things like that, typically. But right now, the word I actually got when I was like, I'm so warm, was resistance. And I feel like it's because there are things, you're resisting. Okay. You just know. And so there's this call to live courageously again and to heal and move forward from them, because here's why. You have the mystic here as well. And part of that, whether you're male, female, I don't care, is the whole idea of learning from something, experiencing something from yourself, learning from it, healing from it, moving on from it, and then essentially going back in to help others do the same. I'm going to read just the message from this card for you to just kind of really bring this home. So this is what to expect, or something that you already know. Okay. So for some of you, maybe you feel to some degree like a mystic. Maybe you feel like you have this certain call that you should be answering. One more. There it is. Okay. So it says here, so consider this, right, again, of what to expect or something you already know. This is the card of the mystic, the one who's in touch with the depths of the inner world and the interweavings of the world and beyond, way beyond. They're dedicated to listening to the mysterious voice whispering within, to following their intuition and living in accordance with that, to living by being guided by the rose thread. Following the rose thread means being dedicated to walking the way of the rose, to being in service to humanity, and dedicated to writing a new story. Holy crap, that's interesting, because you freaking have a fresh start and a book with the Akashic Records, clearing old stories. You cannot make this stuff up. It requires courage and faith and the willingness to pave a new path. The rose has been a symbol of the mysteries for thousands of years. The rose thread is the invisible path that the mystic follows. It takes courage to trust it, for the path is different for every single person. This is why it requires courage to trust the inner call, and those who do so find great reward. This card is a sign that you're being called to follow this initiatory path, led by the thread deep within. You may find that you're in a place of great change and are being called to have faith and gather up the courage to take the next step. This card is a sign of encouragement to keep taking the next step. It's acknowledging the courage it takes to live a soul-led life and honoring you for always taking the leap. So it does say here, even when things feel unclear, especially when they do, I trust that I'm always led from within. Right? So again, like I said, I feel like you know. I do. I really do. I feel like you know. So what else do we have here? The Rose of Venus, alignment. Oh my gosh, okay. Alignment, flow, right relationship, and harmony. So yet again, like I was saying, I feel like all of this is happening to get you into alignment because you're getting ready to take that next step. And I feel like this is happening for you to surrender to the flow and trust what is coming up. So again, if you're triggered, what does the trigger mean? And the trigger doesn't have to be necessarily, though in this case I do feel like it is this. A trigger doesn't have to be something negative or uncomfortable. You have happy memories that are triggered as well, okay? But in this case I do feel like it likely carries some kind of not so comfortable energy with it, and it stirs discomfort within whatever this thing is. And I feel like there's something here. It's like, let this go because it is holding you back. It is stopping you. And I feel like doing so, courageously doing so, allows you the opportunity to experience, or rather, let me rephrase, to step into alignment with a brand new start, with experiencing something different. Should you allow yourself to flow with the current energies and release what needs to be released? I feel like it's going to bring a great deal of harmony into your experience. And I don't mean that from a relationship standpoint, right? This card would give you the idea that perhaps this is about a romantic relationship between two people, and that's not what I'm getting here at all. I feel like this is definitely about harmony within self, because I feel like whatever this thing is, Cancer, it is not something little. And not and I'm not saying that to discourage you or anything like that. It is just so that you understand, like, this is something that is quite impactful on your experience currently and has been significantly in the past. This is something that affects a lot of your life. Okay? Yeah. Yes, you have the breathing rose. Heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. You know that this is something that you need to heal from. This is something that triggers emotions within you. You know that this is something you need to heal from to some degree. Or you've expected this to come up eventually. Okay? And I do feel like for some of you, this could be something that is from your past. So like this could be something that happened to you, several years ago for some of you in your more distant past. And I feel like for some, yes, with time, I feel like for some of you, it's gotten a bit easier, whatever this is. But I just really feel like this is something you have not healed from. And I think you haven't. What's the clarifier? Seraphim's Gateway, voice activation, angelic attunement, and divine support. So first of all, let me just say that you can expect to have help from your angels, your guides, God, source, the universe, whatever you refer to it as. I call it God. I feel like you will have, oh my gosh, my stomach is growling so bad. I feel it's like empty yourself from this, and I do feel like you'll have support in doing that if you should choose to courageously release these things, like and empty yourself of them. I do feel like you'll have support. I do feel like you will be shown the way, as it were, but you have to trust in order to fully step into that. I am going to read just the message for this card to you. And again, just consider it from the perspective of either what to expect or something you already know. And I just feel like this could add another layer or some sort of validation or confirmation for someone who may be hearing this. So just give me one moment to find it. Oh my gosh. It's like hiding. Okay. It says here, you are blessed to receive the light of the seraphim. Know that these beings of infinite light are singing your name in the heavens to unlock the power of your own voice. Angelic support surrounds you at this time. Know that you are safe, for you are being held by the presence of love. The seraphim are witnessing the glory of your being and activating your angelic qualities. You care deeply about the welfare of the planet and all her beings. In fact, you are hoping to make a great difference in the world. And the reason for this is you are carrying angelic light. Let it shine on the world around you. So it's interesting because you have this soul called and mystic energy, which pairs beautifully or parallels beautifully with what's just come through with this card here, right? Essentially being very caring about the planet and all of its inhabitants. So there's that part of it. I feel like it's confirming for you, Cancer, the fact that there is a bigger purpose. There is something that you're supposed to be doing here. Okay. But I also feel that in order to do that, you have to be willing to release certain things. And again, this message is repeated through all of the signs that I've done so far and many of my membership readings recently as well. All right, so something you may not expect about the month. Whispers of Mother Earth. Gosh, this energy keeps showing up over and over again as well. So it's creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. Oh yeah, wow, that's fascinating. Okay, so for some of you, I feel like there is an outlet here. And I do feel like for some, there could be a creative outlet that could help you in releasing these things. Okay. For others of you, I feel like something that you may not expect about the month is that I feel like if you're able to release or work on releasing whatever this is, you're like working through it, doing the healing, sitting with your emotions, feeling the things, praying about it, meditating about it, journaling about it, doing whatever modalities work for you and alchemizing these situations. I feel like something you may not expect is your creativity to freaking skyrocket, because I feel like there's been that block there. Whatever this is, Cancer, I feel like it's heavy on your heart. Okay. And I feel like it puts up a wall of sorts. And I feel like it could have been blocking your creativity. I also feel like for some of you, you may find that, yes, thank you, unexpectedly stepping into a creative space allows you, or let me rephrase. Yeah, okay, stepping into a creative space may be far more therapeutic than what you thought. Okay. So I feel like that's for some. I feel like for this month, something that you may not expect is that creativity could be far more therapeutic than you imagined it would be. There could be things that come out in your creative outlets which deliver some truth or clarity for you. For some, you may be coming to this space of part of your mission or what you maybe should be doing here has something to do with being creative. Artist, writer, channel, musician. And I'm getting this element of fear. But for whatever reason, it's like you don't want to let it go. What do we have? Soul star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. Yeah. I mean, again, like for some of you, I feel like maybe your creativity has been blocked because of whatever this thing is, or it hasn't been able to like fully, like be fully what it could be or something. Because this feels more like fully stepping into that aspect of yourself or stepping further into that aspect of yourself. And maybe that's something that you don't expect for the month. Maybe that's something that you feel called to do that you were like, wait a minute, what? Right? For example, if you work in an office and suddenly you feel called to like quit your job and, start painting. I mean, that can be like, whoa, wait a minute, what? Okay, and it happens. I want to lovingly say to you, this happens. I would have never imagined that I'd be sitting here on a video reading tarot cards. Ever. Ever. Not even in my wildest dreams. Not even in the ones where I was a little girl and like in a princess tower with a dress on and things. Like, not even that. Okay? So I'm just saying, like, you may feel that there's no way that that's true for you, but I'm just saying, you'll be surprised what happens when you heal and you uncover layers of yourself that have been hidden behind or hidden underneath trauma and wounding and programming. So what else do we have here? Memories of Atlantis, spiritual acceleration, progress, and technology. Yeah, I feel like something that you may not expect is that in moving through these things, should you allow yourself to do that? Because I feel like that's a key here, is that I feel what you might not expect is that it actually seems to move things along very quickly. Stepping into that space, it seems like it will propel you forward. Okay? And I just feel like that progress is something unexpected, because I feel like wherever you're sitting now, Cancer, you may feel like stalled, or you may have felt like you have been unable to move forward, or you're just kind of like stuck, or I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, or something to that effect, or, something along those lines. And I feel like if you allow yourself to start working on these things, because half the battle is acknowledging that it's something that you need to focus on, is acknowledging that half of it is acknowledging that you need to take accountability. The other half is actually doing it. Okay? So I feel like if you allow yourself to do it and step into that space, I feel like things will start just rapidly unfolding, because you've made the decision. So what stirs happiness within you this month, Cancer? You have Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, and humanity. So for some of you, literally, I'm getting like spending time with your mom, maybe what stirs happiness within you. Male, female, I don't really care. I just feel like for some of you, I feel like, and I'm actually like getting this smile because I feel like some of you are very close with your mothers. And, I feel like for some of you, you are going to find a great comfort in them this month. Why? Because I feel like you're going through some pretty deep healing, and whatever this is, it feels very heavy, very, very burdensome. It feels like something that's been likely carried for quite a significant amount of time, and it's painful. Whatever it is, it feels like it's one of those things that's like, gosh, I really don't want to have to deal with this. Like, I really don't, I mean, I'm just seeing it. It's like, I really don't want to. And so I feel like having your mother there to provide that compassion and comfort, and because they understand you in a way that no one else does, I feel like that could be very relevant for some. Okay? And what I mean by that, by the way, is that they understand you in a way that no one else could. I don't feel like that would apply to everyone, like the whole population of people, right? Because I do feel like there are, including myself, some whose mothers have no clue about who they are. Okay, I just want to make that very clear. So those who this is for, you will resonate with your mother knowing you differently than anyone else, because I feel like for these people, your mother is someone who is very much your mother, yes, but also I feel like you would consider them a friend. I feel like you would consider them a confidant. I feel like you would consider them someone you could go to for anything, about anything, at any time. And they would be, at the very least, open to hearing you, if not far more than that. So for some of you, again, it could be actually about your mother. For others, I feel like there's a certain level of happiness or fullness or completion that comes with, how do I word this, please? Essentially discovering parts of yourself that have been lost under trauma and pain and wounding. And I just want to say, when I said that, I felt like for some of you, like that may have hit very hard, because I do feel like to some degree, some of you have likely felt like whatever this was caused for, like, I feel like you feel like you've lost part of yourself to whatever this is. Okay. Or maybe you would say something along the lines of, after that happened, I was different. Okay. And I feel like this returning to each other, part of what makes you happy is discovering those parts of yourself that you have not been in touch with for some time. Wow, that was really heavy, you guys. So for those who that message resonates with, I am sending you the biggest of hugs and absolutely praying for God to support you as you move through those things. So let's see, what's the clarity here? Lemurian seed codes, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, and living with grace. So it's really interesting, Cancer, because I feel the thing that stirs happiness within you this month is being able to feel what you need to feel and experience what you need to feel from a space that isn't judging or limiting in any way, shape, or form. Like, for example, right, I feel like this would be something that would stir happiness within you is if you have the support, for example, to be able to like ugly cry and like get it all out and just dump all the things. Like I feel, and to be able to do that with someone who is going to see that what you need is someone to be compassionate and kind and to just understand. I feel like that, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just feels like that brings some sort of happiness for you, because I feel like to some degree there's something here about maybe people not understanding or not allowing you to fully be truthful, like fully, like all of it, all the ugly, all the everything. Okay. I feel like there's something here too about, I feel like for some of you, this could open up something new where you kind of like, I'm getting the energy of like spread your wings. Because I feel like there are unique things that you're carrying, but I feel like whatever this is, I feel like it's been weighing on you and holding you back, preventing you or limiting you. And so, yeah, I'm just seeing it kind of like spread your wings. Let's see what else you have here. The central sun, abundance, downloads, regeneration, and success. So it's interesting that you have this recreation, renewal, rebirthed by light up here with the Orion activation, and you have releasing past lives, and you have remembering who you are. And I just feel like there's this big I mean, I'm not trying to do this, but it is what it is. Reconnection to who you truly are at a very deep level. And I feel like it's regeneration in the sense that I feel like, again, it feels like whatever this thing is that's been, that you've been carrying, I feel like it's been weighing on you. Maybe it's even been aging you because you're carrying the stress or the burden of whatever the thing is. And I feel like releasing this provides some form of for regeneration. It's so fascinating how this is coming through. It's almost like, wait a minute, what? I'm going to read from the book for this one as well, just to bring a little bit more depth into how this may be stirring happiness within you, especially from the perspective of returning to each other with compassion and humanity. So let me just find it here in the book. And we're just going to read just the message. Okay, so it says here, the great central sun is shining brightly in your life and upon your world. This is a time to regenerate. Tiredness and old energy are being washed away. Old skins have peeled off to reveal a sacred and more aligned you. Holy crap, I could not have written this better. This is an exciting time. It sure is. Central sun energy is magnetic and all powerful, opening you up to light and supporting you as you express your own light in this lifetime. New ideas, opportunities, and experiences come easily to you at this time. Like the sun kissing the perfectly ripe soil, the seeds you have planted are being encouraged to grow. Realize that in order to go beyond your horizon, it's important for you to welcome energetic exchanges. When you help others, you let yourself be helped in return. When you invest energy in projects, you let energy be invested in yourself. So, what's really fascinating to me, Cancer, is that I do feel like for some of you, and this is not a large amount of people, by the way, I feel like for some of you, there's this sun energy of, so it said, when you help others, you let yourself be helped. And I want to lovingly say, Cancer, that for some of you, I feel like you've helped others a lot, and now it's time for you to be helped. I feel like this is something that needs your attention and needs your focus, because I do feel like it impedes on how beautifully you are. Like, how, no, that's not how I want to word it. How beautifully, the way that I'm seeing this, I'm sorry that I'm struggling to articulate what I'm seeing and how I'm feeling this, but it feels like essentially there's this beautiful light within you. And that's not to say that people don't see it, because I do feel like they do. I feel like just maybe you just don't recognize it the same way. And I feel like maybe this thing that you've been carrying around with you has been, it's like you can't see past it. Does that make sense? And so while others are experiencing this beautiful side of you, I feel like you don't, not in the same way that others do. And so I feel like this now is the time for you to see that and give that back to yourself and allow yourself to be supported. It's a very interesting energy for you, Cancer, but it is beautiful. And I do feel like there is the opportunity here for you to experience something completely different should you choose to do that. Thank you so much for joining me, Cancer. It's been an absolute privilege to read for you. I truly do pray that your month is full of healing. I pray that it is as easy as it can be. I pray that you are able to trust. No, let me rephrase. I pray that you are able to hear and trust the steps that you're meant to be taking in order to help you to release yourself from this thing that has caused you so much pain. I am sending you the biggest of hugs and so much love. I pray that you have an amazing month. Take care of your beautiful, beautiful soul. Remember that you've got this and God's got you. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.